Good afternoon, team. Bear with me on this video because there's a few little things that I want to explain that link together. The first one being something called skin in the game, which is a phrase that you're probably well aware of. But skin in the game typically means that we are investing in something, whether that is our time, energy, money, effort. We're putting some kind of investment into something, usually with the hope of some kind of return. But that means that by putting skin in the game, we are sacrificing something else. And this is where I wanted to kind of take the concept of skin in the game to a slightly different level, which is that you know that in order to get that return from investment or to get that payoff, that payback, it requires something upfront first. And this is what training is all about. This is where we put the daily effort in for the benefit of our future selves. And so that investment that you're putting in up front is you putting skin in the game, you making that sacrifice and investment to get something better later on. With that in mind, we can use that, or at least remember that, when we are going through any kind of situation, whether that be a training session or whether that be something completely outside of the gym and unrelated to what we're doing, whether it's at work, with relationships, with family, with situations that we find ourselves in, whether it's paying bills, it can be anything. But essentially what we can do is remember that this is us putting skin in the game for the benefit of our future selves. With that in mind, we can always have that little reminder or that little bit of perspective that tells us that this has some kind of positive reasoning behind it. So if in the moment, if in a training session, it feels really difficult, it's tough, it's grueling, it's not something that you're even particularly enjoying, even though you might generally enjoy training, there might be something that you're doing in that moment that you don't really want to do and you don't really enjoy. We can remember that that is us having skin in the game and that this is for a purpose and for a return. And if we can be mindful of that in the moment and be present with it, it can help us push on and push through and almost sometimes embrace it as well. It can teach us that, that difficulty that we're facing or that hardship is a positive thing that means we are putting plenty of skin in the game for a better return later on. And so that can help us stay motivated and stay pushing through. But to kind of step back or step outside of that, it's the thing that can be a tool in our toolbox to help us continue and not get beaten down by whatever sort of situation we might find ourselves in. It can be the thing that reminds us that this is worth it, and because we, in the moment, can remember that, it can help us stay on track, pushing through and getting that return. Even if it's a delayed gratification and we have to wait months, weeks, even years for it, to kind of realize it, and with that being such a slow progression or a slow realization, it's hard to see sometimes, which is why people often say, like, trust the process. And I'm not keen on always kind of hammering that message home, trust the process, because I like people to have the evidence and the facts presented to them, which is why I like talking about perspective so much. But there is an element of delayed gratification and knowing that we have to be patient for that return to come, but we are putting skin in the game, and the more skin in the game we put, the more of a return we're likely to get. So when it comes to any given situation and effort or hardship that you're finding yourself in or going through, and you're struggling with the kind of internal motivation to keep moving, to keep pushing through and to keep persevering, try and remind yourself, A, that you've got skin in the game, but B, that skin in the game means that there is intrinsically something positive about that situation. And if you can remind yourself that, that maybe just gives you that extra little boost and that extra little bit of motivation to stay on track, to keep persevering, and to continue to practice your grit and determination. And that can help us really get some massive returns and some great results.